I know that the Russian troops in Crimea are cooperating with the remaining Ukrainian units, giving them three options, either to, for the personnel I mean, either to join the Russian army, retaining their military ranks, or demobilize and become private citizens and stay on in Crimea or anywhere else. Or the third option is to remain in the ranks of the Ukrainian army and leave Crimea. For the latter option, necessary instructions have been given to provide them with transportation, logistical support, and showing full respect for their uniforms and military insignia.
I wonder how long this operation was planned by Russia.
It was not a pre-planned operation. Actually, this was a reaction to the events that have been unfolding in Kiev and elsewhere in Ukraine. And that was a clear-cut will of the overwhelming majority of people in Crimea for reunification with Russia, so rectifying the abnormal situation of 60 years ago.
Why did you rush through a referendum without any independent international observers?
Well, we didn't rush anybody anywhere. It was a decision by the local authorities in Crimea. And actually they shifted the date of the referendum twice because they were actually, I believe they were apprehensive of plans by extremists coming down from Kiev and other parts of and western Ukraine primarily to sort of overflow the atrocities that have been happening in Ukraine.
I know you.
So this was not something pre-planned in Moscow. Certainly not.
Just on the question of what orders have been given to Russian troops, you've laid out what the options that have been given to the Ukrainian forces are. If they do not sign up to those various options that they've been given, what are Russian troops being told they should do?
Well, I know that the Russian Minister of Defense and the Ukrainian acting Minister of Defense are in direct telephone contact, so the details of which I am not aware of course.
What about the contacts between Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and the US Secretary of State John Kerry? We understand that they will be meeting again. What have they got to talk about at the moment?
Well, they've been talking on the phone at least on a daily basis, sometimes twice a day. And they will be meeting again on Monday in The Hague. They will be talking about Ukraine, I can assume. My guess is as good as yours.
Right. In terms of Russia's intentions in the east of Ukraine, what are they?
We want to see the interests of people living in eastern Ukraine, ethnic Russians, Russian speaker, all the population of eastern Ukraine, their interests to be taken into account by whoever is the authority in Kiev today and when there is a fully legitimate government in Kiev. For the time being, the basic provision of the agreement signed by President Yanukovych, the opposition, and witnessed by 3 EU foreign ministers on the 21st of February, envisaged for a creation of a government of national unity. That has not happened. Mr. Yatsenyuk himself admitted from the rostrum of the Rada that their government is a government of winners. So, not surprisingly, people in eastern and southern parts of Ukraine feel that they are the losers in this situation.
Russia is putting a lot. I just want to ask you on that agreement. Russia is setting a lot of store by it. You sent an official, Vladimir Lukin, to that, but he didn't sign it. If you're so concerned about it, why didn't the Russian official actually sign that agreement?
Well, he didn't sign it not because he didn't like it, but because we had reasonable suspicions that the 3 leaders of the opposition of the time would not be able to deliver, and they didn't. So we were proven right by the ensuing events.